Hey everyone, welcome back to Beach Weekly, a podcast created and produced by Long Beach State's student-run newspaper, the Daily 49er. I'm your host, Luke Pajari. Check out our content at daily49er.com, where you can read campus and Long Beach-related news, sports, arts and life, opinions, as well as multimedia content, including more podcasts, videos, and photo galleries. Thanks to Long Beach Transit for sponsoring this episode of Beach Weekly. Right now, your longest trip is from the bedroom to the kitchen. But if you ever have to move around town, Long Beach Transit is moving you through safely. Visit ridelbt.com/basics to see how transit is keeping students safe. This is your one and only podcast source for all things Long Beach State. Let's go ahead and dive right into this week's news roundup. Stay tuned afterwards for this week's story spotlight, tying in with our special issue on Black History Month. We had staff from the 49er attend a Black History Month rally at Marina Park this past Saturday. Our coverage features sound bites from the event that you won't want to miss. Long Beach State men's and women's basketball teams each played 2 games against Cal Poly on Friday and on Saturday. The men's team secured 2 wins, bringing them to a 4-4 conference record. Friday's final score was 64-60 and Saturday's score was 74-69. The women's team put up a fight but unfortunately lost both games when visiting Cal Poly. Friday ended with a score of 44-55 and a close 42-45 score on Saturday. This puts the women's team at number 3 in the Big West Conference with a 10-4 record. The Long Beach City Council voted unanimously to establish a food security plan for communities impacted by the grocery store closures due to the COVID-19 pandemic. After the city passed Hero Pay in January, in which grocery stores would be required to pay an extra $4 an hour to its workers, Kroger Co. announced that they would be permanently closing 2 stores on April 17th. The Food for Less on South Street and the Ralph store on Los Coyotes Diagonal. The city plans to increase farmers market stands, food pantries, and other distribution methods in order to provide more food security for impacted communities. The Associated Students, Inc. Senate discussed a plan that addresses the concerns of the cultural disconnect between ASI and the divisions of cultural affairs during a virtual meeting on Wednesday. Some of the concerns include indoctrinating a more inclusive terminology used for students and reallocating funds to support undocumented students in low-income households who have been affected by COVID-19, amongst several other issues to be addressed. Long Beach's Museum of Latin American Art announced the opening of a new virtual exhibit focusing on the work of numerous women artists. The exhibit is titled Herland, Women Artists from the Museum of Latin American Art Collection. The virtual exhibit debuted on February 7th and was created by the museum's chief curator, Gabriela Urtiaga. Herland is separated into 4 different sections depending on theme, including surrealism, representation, boundaries, and distortion. The exhibit will continue until January of 2022. The museum also stated on their website that the exhibit will be available for in-person viewing upon the museum's reopening to the public. Tom Peters, who teaches the double bass at the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music at Long Beach State, has released his second album of ambient music. The album is titled Lamentations and is about processing the year 2020. When creating the album, Peters described wanting to create something that filled a need. Lamentations will be available to stream or purchase on Amazon, Apple Music, and more. To close out this week's news roundup, here's a snippet from the album. This past Saturday, about 75 demonstrators gathered at Marina Vista Park in Long Beach for a celebration in honor of Black History Month. Organized by a coalition of Black liberation leaders, the event featured performers, speakers, and community activists from Long Beach and Orange County, as well as local vendors. Here's an exclusive listen on the sounds of that celebration.
perfection is perfected, so my man I'm understand from a young G's perspective. And before me digging a bitch, I have to find a contraceptive. You never know, she could be.
Continue to motivate, to inspire, to let you guys see and understand that yes, Black Joy is a form of protest, but we also know how to march our boots and put on our good shoes and still have some gratitude and good energy about how we show America what a peaceful and civil protest looks like.
For me personally, I say that Black History Month is not what's important, but the education of the contributions made by African Americans to our society. Really what we should aim for is that the inclusiveness of history really encompasses all contributions made by all minorities who've been left out of history. Here we just want to remind people of the facts that have already been established by history, that we've made substantial contributions and will continue to do so here in America. We've gone from the slave house to the White House. We're not here to knock things down, burn things down, or to instigate. We're here to demonstrate. We're here to make a mark on history.
Ain't gonna let nobody. What'd you say? Ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. I'm gonna keep marching. Keep marching.
Long Beach Transit misses seeing you on the bus, pretending to study while you listen to this podcast instead. Until the day comes when you're riding on the regular, visit ridelbt.com/basics to see how transit is keeping you safe. That's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Beach Weekly. This is your host, Luke Pajari, signing off. Take care, guys.